Hey, hi, how you doing? What is good? It is Gilbert's like GSG late. Brother, we were waiting for your comment and then now we're good to go. What's good, everybody? It is the Divine Sports Gospel. Matt and Mike Divine are here. It is March 17th. Happy St. Patty's, St. Patrick's Day, whatever you call it. We are Irish, so I wish you a good St. Patrick's Day.
Holy shit. Holy shit, that was bad.
I had a feeling you were gonna cook me with that one.
You're rocking the text. Maybe we'll start it out with a little text talk before we go into some pods. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely, man. Let's do it. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you. We're living, man. Can't complain. Weather's nice up here in the Bay. We're headed down to San Diego for opening day in about a week, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, let's talk a little Aztecs, and then we could talk a little Padres baseball, baby.
Listen, man, we made it. Team made it. Battled through injuries. Preseason, Reese Dixon Waters, Mountain West Player of the Year, out for the season. Miles Bird, Nick Boyd carried the squad. Big minutes from JCJ. Big minutes from Heidi down the stretch. Man,
Goon Squad, baby. How can you forget?
Yeah, I mean, I can't forget about the guy who's. I mean, Magoon playing tomorrow gives me confidence.
Absolutely.
Now, if Magoon wasn't playing, I think we're cooked. So, listen, there's one thing, and I'm curious if you have the same take because I've been thinking about this. I'm a little worried because everyone's saying that UNC doesn't deserve to be in it. And I'm like, they're almost like reverse jinxing us into losing this game because UNC
completely. Like, I actually have a very similar. I think the amount of shit UNC's gotten so far by the media, by having Bubba Carrington, the guy who's like the head of the committee, is also the UNC AD. That's a little sketch. I get that. He gets paid $100,000 more if UNC makes the bubble or makes the tournament. Also sketch. I completely get the fact that they don't necessarily deserve it, but I also understand the fact that this team is going to come in there like, fuck everybody. We're going to play. Yeah. They're going to go balls to the wall, bro. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That being said, if Magoon Guath plays, it's a completely different Aztecs team. If Magoon Guath plays and he is healthy and he plays to the level that we've seen him play pretty much the last month and a half before he got hurt, the Tex can make the Sweet 16. Anything further than that, I don't know. But they could make the Sweet 16. Got to shoot well. Got to let Nick Boyd cook. But
hey,
like you said, Mike, like you said, nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. They made the tourney again. They made the tourney again. That's all that matters. You make the tourney, good shit happens. Happy they made the tourney. And yeah, hey man, repping the Tex. Let's talk a little Pods baseball though. That's why most of the people are here. Matthew Waller, what's up, brother? Michael King, Sting, Summer Fling, Dodgers in 4. Okay. That's pretty good. All right. Let's talk some Pods baseball. We are now, tonight actually, is the first Major League Baseball game of the year. It is in Japan. Is the Chicago. What did you say?
I said this morning, technically.
Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. You got Shota Imanaga versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 2 Japanese pitchers going against each other in Tokyo. Pretty badass. I will not be watching. Not because I don't want to watch. 3 a.m., bruh. If it's not the Pods.
We did the stream last year, 3 a.m. with the Gate 14 boys. Man, that was a tough morning in the office the next day when I had to go in at like 8 a.m.
The ball went through Crone's glove.
I fell asleep, man. I couldn't.
The ball went through Crone's glove, bro. That was.
Oh no! I was up for that. I fell asleep on the first game. I think.
You stay up that night. That was the Korea series. You stay up. We're like so hyped. We're like, Pods baseball's back. Let's go. And yeah, man, that ball goes through Crony's glove. I was like, dude, did I really just waste my entire, I'm going to be absolutely hurting for the next week. So I'm happy the Padres, honestly, extremely happy the Padres are not playing tonight.
Same.
Because, hey, I'll wake up tomorrow. Hopefully the Cubs win and the Pods are already half game ahead, baby. Hey,
let's go Cubbies. I also think that's kind of shitty. What's kind of shitty about the Japan/Korea series is in my opinion, right? Like, don't get me wrong, expanding the game, giving those fans out there the ability to see guys like Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Tatis, all these different guys, right? That's great. What does kind of suck is that they come back and then have to play spring training games again. And you're just like, you're already in the fucking regular season. You can't, I don't like the idea of starting the regular season and then coming back and playing more spring training games to get prepared for the season. It makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense.
I think it's just one of those things where it's great for the expansion of the game. Obviously, with the Dodgers being pretty much Team Japan, having them play out there is pretty cool. Would love to see them maybe play in the Dominican one day for a series like that. I know they did the Mexico series. I do agree with you though, Mike, and I'm curious what the chat has to say. Also, shout out the chat. We got Wallow in here. We should sign the Hanson Tigers pitchers. We got Gio that says long shot, back shot, trick shot, pods and 4. I like that. I will say I do like the globalness of the game, right? And with so many international players now having that, and the thing I realized or like kind of figured out last year when the Padres played in Korea, this game is not for the for the United States. Like, this game is for Japan, right? So it's like, especially in California, 3 a.m., you're a real one if you wake up in the morning. If you're not a Dodgers or Cubs fan and you wake up in the morning, you are into it. Like, that is a real, either you have no life or you don't have to work tomorrow, which I respect.
I will say if you're on the East Coast, like, I would wake up an extra hour and a half early, I mean, usually I wake up maybe like 6:30, game starts at 6, I think. Like, I'd wake up 5:30, make a cup of coffee, and then watch the start of the game. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm not envious of us not being in that game this year. It was fun last year, but that's like a one-time experience as a fan. Like, that was a tough one. It took me a couple days to recover from that bad boy.
Hell yeah, brother. This guy says, hope all y'all are ready to the 150 win Dodgers. If you guys win 150 games, we will give you this channel. It is all yours, brother.
I can see them getting like 108.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. But also, I think the Pods are gonna be good. But there are some things that are concerning. And I guess the number one thing that's going around in Pods land right now is it seems like Yuli Gurriel is getting the vibe that he might make this fucking team, bro. And I don't know if you watched today. Dude was raking a little bit. And my issue with Yuli Gurriel, and it's not even the stuff that, the Yu Darvish stuff from back in the day, because if you could say it's all good now, then who am I to be like, okay, well, who am I to get mad for you if you says it's fine? My issue with Yuli Gurriel is I see Oscar Gonzalez, and I'm like, bro, Oscar Gonzalez's potential is way higher than Yuli Gurriel. Yeah. Oscar Gonzalez, and it is spring training, but this motherfucker, every single ball he hits is spring training is like 110 off the bat. He is raking, dude. Raking. And we're going to put Yuli Gurriel in, who's 40 years old, and, he hit a homer today, so respect. I can't say he can't hit home runs, but I just don't. Seeing that lineup, if you're Logan Webb, and you're pitching against San Diego Padres, and you see that bottom 3 of Hayward, Gurriel, and Diaz, you're fucking licking your chops, bro. You're like, I'll pitch around Merrill. I'll pitch around I'll pitch around Crone. I'll pitch around Crone to face these fucking guys.
Pitch around.
I'm telling you.
You could attack, and that's pitching around.
The lack of fear I get from that 3 in the lineup, and they actually played well today. That being said, you're facing off against like a AAA Brewers pitcher. So, like, who do you think? Do you think Yuli Gurriel makes the team when we're at the game on Thursday? Do you think you hear his name during announcements?
It's really hard to say, man. I hope not. I'm with every point that you mentioned. I completely agree. If I had to guess, yes. If I had to guess, yes.
No, we're not, Vincente. We're not booing any Pods, bro. Never boo. I mean, I genuinely don't think he's good. Which concerns me because I see a guy like, Oscar Gonzalez, man. Hey, I get, oh, hey, me and Manny worked out in the offseason. Brother, Manny's good. Manny has enough friends. He's fine. He's flying everybody on the private jet. Manny does not need any more friends. He's good.
Yeah.
I would rather have Oscar Gonzalez on this team than Yuli Gurriel, without a fucking doubt. And it was mentioned, I think Kevin Acee said today's lineup is what you'd expect against Sale on opening day. Well, in reality, the lineup's not bad if you change out Yuli for fucking Oscar Gonzalez. It's not terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a really, really bad
I'm with you.
lineup. Like, front, Toddy looks locked in. Arise looks locked in. Machado, I mean, I know it's spring. Machado's looked a little after he was locked in the first week, and then he's looked pretty ass.
He tweaked his back supposedly, and he became Mafrado for a little bit, so it's okay.
Just hey, put him in ice, bro. Put him in ice. But who do you think opening day? Who's DHing?
Who's DHing? Probably gonna be Yuli Gurriel, man. Probably gonna be Yuli Gurriel.
I don't like that, man. I just don't.
You know what, man? He's got friends on the team, and that's it.
Yeah, motherfucker.
He's a nepo hire. He's a nepo hire.
Yuli Gurriel, the nepo hire. Sheets won't.
Not
Sheets
against
won't
Sale.
DH against Chris Sale.
That's and shit.
I just don't like. I just don't see a lineup of Jason Hayward, Yuli Gurriel, and Elias Diaz. Really, Chris Sale. Chris Sale's gonna fucking just be like, dude.
You don't think that lineup's gonna dominate off the former Cy Young?
Look at this. Vincente, bro. Imagine Iglesias, Joe, SpongeBob, Jose Iglesias. Okay, interesting. Jose Iglesias will DH. Eggy, guys, Eggy might not be on this team this time next week.
He won't be.
You think he's going to get dealt?
Yeah.
And you know what? That sucks because Eggy fucking rakes.
Eggy rakes, but like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's almost like we're fans, right? There's a reason Eggy hasn't become a mainstay on the roster at this point in his career. Maybe because they don't see it happening. He needs a change of scenery. Clearly doesn't seem like Preller's going to give him that opportunity. His spring training this year has been okay. He's 205, 741 OPS. Like, it hasn't really jumped off the pages. I don't know. And we're the unction, right? So we're going to have fucking Yuli Gurriel, Jason Hayward, Jose Iglesias. So we're going to have the fucking unction bench. That's going to be the unction.
T-Wade.
Come off. T-Wade might not make the team, bro.
You don't think so?
I think he's on the chopping block.
Really?
Who would you rather have, T-Wade or Jose Iglesias?
Iglesias.
Okay, but I get that T-Wade and Jackson Merrill are best friends, so it's like.
Well, I feel like T-Wade is like he's kind of like the Profar vibes guy this year, and you cannot have a team where you cut Tyler Wade over Yuli Gurriel. You cannot put Yuli Gurriel on this roster. You cannot. Bro, I'm telling you, guys. I don't care if he hit a home run today. Honestly, I'll be honest. I was trying to be nice.
It's a spring training homer. No one cares,
bro. I do not like Yuli Gurriel as a player. I just don't. I do not like him as a player. He's old as shit. He can't run. He, has a career 760 OPS. Great. Good for him. That being said, he's 40 years old. Motherfucker, you know who has a great OPS? Mark McGwire. I don't want Mark McGwire on our team right now, bro. He's old as shit. Yuli, go to the Mexican League or, go play in Japan and ball out, and best of luck to you, brother. That being said, we have guys that can actually hit on this fucking team right now. Oscar Gonzalez can hit. It makes no sense, dude. He can hit. It's not even a joke anymore. Like, I'm watching this guy. I think Clark tweeted that he has like the highest bat speed on the team. Like, the motherfucker, his biggest issue and the reason why he wasn't a mainstay on the Cleveland Guardians was the fact that he had terrible swing decisions. He would swing at fucking everything and anything all the time. This spring, it looks like he's chilled out a lot when it comes to what he's swinging at. He seems comfortable. 3-0 today. Could have looked for a walk. Walk. Fucking sat on it. Ripped a double. The dude's legit. I would much rather see him and the potential he has as like a 26-year-old than Yuli Gurriel. Because if Oscar Gonzalez opts out of his deal when we send him to AAA and he goes to the Houston Astros or the Mariners, and it exactly, Tom, it'll be another Rooker moment. Maybe not to that extent, but it has the potential to be. And guess what? You know it won't be a Rooker moment? Yuli fucking Gurriel if you cut that guy. Oh, he's buddies with Manny. He worked out with Manny. Motherfucker. Manny is good. He does not need Manny
has enough. Manny has enough power.
SDFC hasn't lost a game yet. Manny's chilling, bro. He's good. He's good on Friends. He should be given a shot. 100%.
Manny has enough control in this organization. Having Yuli Gurriel as a 40-year-old, almost 41, after the last 3 seasons, 647 OPS, 663, 635.
Yes.
How are we supposed to expect this guy is going to come in and be something this
Mike, he's ass, bro. He's ass. Yuli Gurriel's ass. I was trying so hard before this stream to be like, okay, be chill, dude. Like, hey man, no, I'm gonna be honest right now. Get that motherfucker off the team. I don't care if he flukes out.
It'll be a miscarriage of justice by AJ Preller.
Yeah, bro. AJ, guess what? They said this on Ben and Woods, and it's true. Teams mess up all the time, right? Signing guys. He didn't even mess up. This is like a flyer, bro. You just don't need to put this guy on the roster. It's not even a mess up. It's not Matt Carpenter spot. Mike, it's not Matt Carpenter where you paid the dude $12 million and you feel guilty, and Bob Melvin's not going to play him because he's so ass. Yuli Gurriel, you could just be like, hey, not on the squad. All good. Move on. You put Oscar Gonzalez on this team, and let's say he's 6. Guess what? 2 options. You send him down. He's not 40 years old. If it was Lourdes Gurriel, yeah, Lourdes, you're starting. Yeah, if his brother, who's like 10 years younger and 50 times better, was the guy we're talking about, absolutely. If Gurriel Jr. was in our lineup, hell yeah. But when it's Gurriel, Yuli's biggest moment was in 2017 when he did a racist thing to one of our biggest pitchers. That's the only reason why anyone knows him on the outside the real ball knowers.
Yeah.
Why is this guy? Why starting 40 years old? Mike, when we watched the Royals play in the playoffs this year, there's 2 guys that we saw in the lineup that were like, how are these guys in the ALCS? 1, Yuli Gurriel. 2, Garrett Hampson. Why? How are these guys playing in this game? And now that motherfucker is going to be starting at DH.
Crazy Hampson.
My team that had, quote unquote, World Series. Bro, you cannot look me dead in the eyes if you're AJ Preller and Mike Schill. And I love Mike Schill. And it's not his fault. Mike Schill, you can't, in your presser before the game on, Thursday. Hey man, we feel really confident, Chris Sale, Yuli's numbers off Chris Sale when Chris Sale was a rookie in 2013. It's like, bro, it can't just you can't have Yuli on this team, man.
They're going to. He's a 40 almost 41-year-old man.
Gio says Yuli hit a homer before Xander. 1 is $250 million. I mean, guys, that's another point. Exactly what I'm saying. Yuli, we could get rid of. Xander, we can't get rid of. Also, Xander. All right. Xander. I was gonna come. He had one nice piece today.
It's a bad thing when Bogart's OBP is better than his slug.
Jesus Christ.
That's a bad thing. So we'll see. We'll see how Xander does. I mean, projection-wise, if he could put up 13 homers, 276 with the 750 OPS, I would consider that a great year for Xander Bogaerts as opposed to what he's done in the past. So
Nico asks, talking about Yuli, can we talk about how trash our catcher situation is? Nico, did you see the Google Doc? You knew exactly what was coming up next. Elias Diaz, not terrible, not good, not terrible. He is Elias mid. He's right there, right in the middle. He could be him starting on opening day, least of our problems, to be completely honest. The backup catcher situation, Martin Maldonado. I said it on the last episode. Please, guys, say a prayer to the baseball gods that I don't have to be 4 Modelo's deep some fucking Bubs, tater tots deep, walking into Petco Park, hearing back like on the bench, Yuli Gurriel and Martin Maldonado. That is not good. That is not good. Give some young dogs a shot. Campy, and hey, if you're not gonna, what do you think, Mike? If you're not gonna have Campy on this roster opening day, you should ship him. Someone says ship Campy with Eggy, ship him. Sully's gone.
Yeah.
Sadly, Sully's gone. And
but like,
what?
I would take Sully over fucking. I would take Sully over both Diaz and fucking.
Would you rather have Ben Sullivan starting opening day than Elias Diaz?
Yeah, at least Sully's had some moments on the team. Like, he's a well-liked guy. It's not to say no one doesn't like Elias Diaz, but no one's looking at Elias Diaz like, oh, let's fucking go. We got Elias Diaz. Don't check our first or second stream of this offseason when he re-signed. But, like, right now you're watching him play, and you're just like, he's so fucking mid. He's just so mid. That's the issue, Matt. Our bench is so mid. And it might be we might be giving them the benefit of the doubt by calling them mid. They're ass. Some of them are just pure ass. Like, listen, hey, crunch time, right? Oh, somebody, we need to have a big pinch hitter come in. Should we pick 36-year-old Jason Hayward, 41-year-old Yuli Gurriel Jr., 34-year-old Elias Diaz, or 39-year-old Martin Maldonado? Which should we pick from? What a fucking brutal bench. How are you expecting to win baseball games? Not only win baseball games, but compete for the championship. Make the playoffs with that bench. That's horrible. That's actually bad. You know
listen to this, Mike.
You know who came off the bench last year for the D-backs? And they didn't make it, but Jock Peterson. That was their platoon. Randall Grichuk and Jock Peterson. Both over 850 OPS is when they play. We have Yuli Gurriel, Jason Hayward, combined probably less OPS than Jock Peterson had on the season if you added them together. Bad.
Yeah, Hayward is tough because you could tell he's like, Hayward's the perfect example of a dude where you're like, everybody's already like, all the players are like, that's my guy. Like, hell yeah. But man, even watching him play the outfield, I don't know if anybody else sees this. He looks kind of slow. Like,
36.
I'm like watching him. I'm watching him try to catch some balls in left field. And everybody was talking about how great his fielding would be. And he still has a cannon. That being said, kind of looks like he's running with cinder blocks, dude. I'm like, what?
Give me Oscar. Give me Oscar. Give me Gavin Sheets. Give me Jose Iglesias. Give me Tirso. That's the bench.
And Connor Joe.
And Connor Joe. Give me that. That's the bench.
Connor Joe seems like a guy. Watching, he made a sick catch today. Connor Joe seems like a dude that will be a net benefit for this San Diego Padres team. Let's go through this.
I love it.
Let's go through this. And chat, I want you to play this game with me too. Is this guy a net benefit player or a net negative player? Like, will this guy benefit the team in winning games? And I don't just mean WAR. I mean everything. Brandon Lockridge.
Net mid.
Okay, well, that doesn't really. Would you say if Brandon Lockridge was on this team, would you be like, damn, like we're cooked?
No, net positive.
Same. Tirso Ornelas.
Net positive.
Jose Iglesias.
Net positive.
Tyler Wade.
See, this is where VAR comes into play. I'll give him a net positive.
You're like, this is also, as you can tell, chat, this is why the DSG will never be the DSGMs.
No, you got to keep asking people. You're not one of the bad ones yet.
Gavin Sheets.
Net positive. 6 homers. I'll give him that. We had 6 net positives. He's so negative that it actually weighs the team down to a negative net right now. A negative net with how much of a negative Yuli Gurriel would be. I'll tell you what Yuli Gurriel is going to have. 78 Bs, 4 hits, 30 strikeouts, DFA by his name. That's exactly what his year is going to look like. Okay? It's going to be embarrassing, and there's not going to be one person to blame except for AJ Preller.
Luis Campusano.
Net negative.
Man. It's and before we go into a couple others that are pretty
And I love
obvious.
Campy, by the way. Let me preface that by saying I love Campy. I'm talking about him as a baseball player for this team. I think
The catcher situation isn't the issue isn't even the hitting. Fuckers are going to run all over this team, bro. We have and that's why Ethan Salas could go up there without a bat. And I'd rather him be catching right now than a couple of these catchers, because even Martin Maldonado, supposedly the greatest catching defensive player to ever live, he was getting ran all over today. Obviously, sometimes it has to do with the pitchers holding him on. But guys, that is like a huge, huge issue. And the game now really does promote running. They want you to run more, right? And make the game more active, all that stuff. Having a catcher that could stop the run is huge. I don't know, man. The catching situation is definitely, out of everything on the team right now, by far the biggest red flag for me. Do you agree?
100%. Yeah,
I feel comfortable
with I feel comfortable with every other position that this team has right now. Yeah. No, I would say I mean the bench is iffy. Lineup wise, there's a few players like I would kill to not have on this team, but it's not necessarily realistic. Like I don't know if I can continue to watch them. It might be one of those things where I'm gonna have like some movie that's playing the whole time the game's going on, and then when one of these players not to be named comes up to hit, I'll flip over to the movie and then flip back when the at bat's over, just because I can't stand to watch him anymore.
Joey Gallo should be our catcher. He's pitching now, bro.
Dude, Joey Gallo, I thought about this yesterday. Could you have imagined if Preller actually gave up prospect capital for that fuck back in the day? He was going to, too. He was going to.
Another common DSGM fuck up on my part is I wanted Joey Gallo so bad. The catching situation is terrible. And I think if you make a move if you can possibly make a move, you got to try to find a way to get one of the Pirates catchers. Either Joey Bart or Henry Davis.
Henry Davis is ass too.
No, he's been balling in spring. You have to try to find a way to get a catcher, because I cannot, if Campy's trash, which everybody's in the comments saying he's done, you got to get rid of Campy. You're getting rid of Sullivan, unfortunately, because he has no more options. Martin Maldonado, disgusting. Do not want him on my baseball team. Tom says Henry Diaz is Elias Diaz 2.0.
He might be worse. He has -2 WAR. He has -2 WAR in his career already. He's 26. Timeout. I will say this. The catching position is so weak. It's so weak, right? All across the league outside of a handful of catchers. Obviously, you don't want to rush anybody. Don't want to rush anybody.
He can't hit.
You're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this, and I can see you shaking your head. Stopgap. I think Salas is up by like July this year.
He can't hit, bro.
Neither can these fucks. Would you rather at least have some energy in the fucking clubhouse with Ethan Salas, or you want to watch?
Like if you bring this kid up at 18 years old, 19 years old, and he's hitting .91, his confidence is going to be fucking shot.
You want me to give you a secret here? You want me to give you a secret?
Let
me tell you this. If he can't hit now, he's not going to figure out how to fucking hit in 3 years.
Yeah, he can.
You might as well
That's actually, I completely disagree with you.
Show me one major prospect that has completely sucked at hitting for 3 years and then instantly in age 21 became a good hitter in the majors.
Salas didn't even suck at hitting the first year he came up.
Okay. But show me a guy.
That's Mike. You're saying realistically, and you could agree you're wrong on this one. People are saying
we're getting mixed feelings in the chat.
Yeah, bad take. Mees, I agree. I love to see this. This is embrace debate.
Mees isn't wrong. Listen, I love it.
How
Joey Bart Mees.
How
okay, Tom, that's a good one. Tom.
Let me speak. How could you possibly bring up Ethan Salas and just absolutely fry this kid's confidence if he can't hit in AA at 18? You work on it. You try to get him to hit. And guess what? If he ends up being a bad hitter and can't hit in AA, you probably should try to trade him and get any sort of like if he starts this first half of the season and in AA and he's hitting and he has a 580 OPS like he did last year, I would deal him at the deadline 100%.
No, yeah, no. I mean, I'll give you that. I think.
So if you bring so you're telling me you would, if he's raking, then maybe you look. You're like, okay, hey, let's go. But how could you possibly bring up Ethan Salas at 18 years old after hitting fucking? He had a 610 OPS.
Hey, I wish we had a rewind button. Because I didn't say bring him up opening day. I said he's on the team in July. Maybe I have faith in Ethan Salas raking the next 3 months, and then he's up in July. Also, I don't care. It's like when Freddie Adu played for fucking USA at 14. It's awesome to have a guy that young on a team.
Okay, perfect example. The Freddie Adu take was an insane take.
All right, what about LeBron?
Look at how Freddie Adu's career went.
What about LeBron?
This fucking guy. That's good.
LeBron.
Gil says Salas was 18 years old in high A facing. Well, Gil, that's exactly my point. So at 18 years old in high A, not hitting, let's bring him up against Chris Sale. The fuck, dude? There's no like. How can you as a fan see him struggle in high A, AA hitting and think, yeah, maybe the move is let's bring this guy up to the bigs.
I'll tell you why. Because one, I'm selfish and I want to see top prospects play. And two, I'm selfish because I don't want to see Martin Maldonado play. Okay, so there's two reasons.
I completely agree with you on the Maldonado part. Friday night game, vibes are high. You're at Beer Fest, and you see they're announcing the starting lineups, and you see Martin Maldonado batting 8th, bro. In 2025, bro. That's just
from Puerto Rico.
That's just ain't it, bro.
Maldonado.
It is crazy how little
strike there.
It's crazy how there's not any really good catchers anymore, dude. That position is insane. So if Ethan Salas can even be decent at the sticks, I'm talking like a 740 OPS guy and great defensively, be Patrick Bailey. If he could be Patrick Bailey, we win.
Patrick Bailey is the truth.
I just do not want to see Martin Maldonado on my team, and I don't want to see Yuli Gurriel on my team. I just don't. I'd rather see Campy. I don't care. I know people say Campy's the worst defensive catcher of all time, and I hate to say it. I kind of agree to an extent. Can't throw out a runner to save his life. That being said, watching Campy at the plate, and this is not, I don't even know if this is a compliment. I think any MLB player is better at the plate than fucking Martin Maldonado. I'd rather watch you at the plate. I'm not joking, Mike. I'd rather watch you up at the plate in a spot.
I did hit
then. It's crazy, man. I don't know. Let's get some vibes up though. Let's get some vibes up. I know we're 10 days away. There are reasons to be a little bit like, hey man, like the roster has some holes and I'm not necessarily confident that Preller is going to make the right choices. I think he's going to stick with the older guys and kind of ho Tirso, ho Oscar, ho some of these guys. But let's talk about pitching. Opening day starter, Mike Devine. Here's your flowers. I think 3 weeks ago, we talked about opening day starter. I said it was going to be Yu Darvish. It was Michael King, and Michael King is going to be starting against Chris Sale, the team that he pitched incredible against in the NL Wildcard Series. King, man, he had a 2.95 ERA last year. Just a complete breakout season, was absolutely awesome. He's going to be a stud for us. I think he deserves it. Your take, do you think this will be something that can be used in contract talks?
I do. I told you from the jump. I think that opening day starter is a huge honor, especially when you have a rotation of two guys that finished in the top 10 in Cy Young voting. You got Yu Darvish, who's been on the team for half a decade, most probably well-liked guy in the organization, and you give the ball to Michael King on opening day. Huge honor. The goal, in my opinion, by doing that move, not only is he your best pitcher, in my opinion, right? Like, so it makes sense. You give your best pitcher the ball on opening day, but also you kind of tell him, you're the guy. You're the guy. Like, when it comes down to it, we got probably a limited pool of money at the end of the season. There's not enough room for you and Cease, but we're trying to show you that we want you when it comes time. Like, that you are our guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cease had a great start yesterday or 2 days ago. Like,
yeah, Cease he looked good. I mean, and that was
great. Cease is great.
I think he threw 80 pitches and he had 8 Ks and he walked 3 guys. So you limit those walks. I mean, dude, Cease when he's on. But Mike, I wonder if you agree with me on this. And when I was walking over to your place yesterday, I was thinking about this, and I thought you'd laugh, but I also think it might be true. July against the Nationals, or May against the Angels. No pitcher in baseball I want more than Dylan Cease.
Not at all. When everyone's sleeping, Dylan.
He doesn't seem like he isn't the guy I want on the bump game 7. Michael King, give him the ball. Yu Darvish, give him the ball. Dylan Cease, no thanks. So, I mean, dude, if they guys, I wonder if you agree with me. I don't think they're going to trade Dylan Cease, but we just spent 30 minutes talking about the holes on this roster right now. If you can get a viable outfielder that can legitimately play and be a guy, and maybe a pitching prospect that you could fit, 4 or 5 in the rotation, like a young guy, like a Will Warren, you got to do it. You got to ship him out. You got to make it so that this team has a little bit more life in that lineup. And if you could trade Cease and get someone that's a legit bat back under control, I'd do it in a heartbeat, 100%. Yeah. And Cease is only going to get – and teams – injuries are only going to start surfacing up. And if Stephen Kolek, who gets the bump tomorrow, Tom, great point. If Stephen Kolek can give us, and be a 4 ERA guy, and Kyle Hart could be a 4 ERA guy, we're rolling. We're rolling with Pivetta, with King, with Darvish. I don't know, man. I don't necessarily want to trade Cease, given Yu Darvish or Waldron's whatever, but Yu Darvish is fatigue right now. Yu Darvish is old. Let's be honest. Yu Darvish is old. He's thrown a lot of innings in his career. I would much rather have Yu Darvish at the end of the season, ramping up for the playoffs, than Yu Darvish start the first weekend of the season. That being said, if you get rid of Dylan Cease and God forbid one of these Pivetta or King go to down, we're cooked. Season's over. What would you trade Dylan Cease for? KC says, I would trade Dylan Cease for a catcher and pitching. What would you trade Dylan Cease for?
I wouldn't trade Dylan Cease.
Okay. Why?
I wouldn't trade him. He's a deadline trade, if anything. We talked about it in the last episode.
John agrees with you. John says trading Cease
what's every major contender's vision at the trade deadline? Let's go out and get an ace. We need to go out and get a frontline guy.
Yeah.
Why are you going to trade a workhorse and a guy who's going to get you to the playoffs for like next year when we might not even have Michael King? Like, what are we playing for here? You're running a fat risk in trusting one, health, 2, that the team's going to perform. Like, you can keep Cease until July, and if the team's underperforming, you trade Cease and King and you get him out of there. Like, that's really what you do in 99.99% of franchises. You don't trade in a contending year before the fucking season starts. That's idiotic.
If anything, you try to trade 4 players. Then
exactly.
Yeah.
You don't feel like we don't have enough prospects to do it, which I understand, right? Like, we're kind of prospect limited. Like, I don't want to trade all these guys before the year starts, and then you run out of guys to trade at the deadline when you're trying to contend. So you got to give up Salas to try to get somebody that can help you win a World Series. Like, that's the disaster. But I wouldn't trade him, man. He's as consistent as they come. He had a bad playoff experience. Kind of hoed us in the playoffs. I don't Like, obviously, wish he didn't do it. I don't fault him like as an individual for it. Like, he's a great pitcher. And I think he's going to be great for us this year. We have Pivetta. Darvish is, he had some time off last year. He's hurt to start out the year. Joe Musgrove's out. You need
James
pitching.
had an interesting point. He says, if it's idiotic, why did we trade Soto? Should have kept him like we're keeping Cease.
Because I think that Soto filled a need that was much more vast. Like, we picked up more assets than you can get for Dylan Cease. Like, Juan Soto, what you got for Juan Soto, you got a frontline starter, you got a catcher that happened to actually play his ass off, but at the time wasn't really like a kind of a throw-in. You got a blue chip prospect that you're able to turn into Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 other pitchers that were top 15 prospects in the Yankee system. You're not getting that for Dylan Cease. It's just that simple. You're not getting it for Dylan Cease. I get there's desperate people, but that team that's desperate right now, there's going to be 5 more teams that are desperate in July. That's the way to look at it. Not every team's desperate at the start of the season, but when the GM's, seat starts to feel a little bit hot, so there's a fire burning underneath there. If you don't make the playoffs, that's when you start to get a little nervous and you start shelling out some prospect capital. So that's why, you hold on to Cease for now, figure it all out later.
It's an interesting time. I'm excited, man. I think the Pods are in the next week will be really interesting to see kind of what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if AJ has something up his sleeve. I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't think AJ Preller, deep down, can look at the bottom of this lineup and be okay going into the season. Even if it's giving Gavin Sheets a shot or Oscar or someone else, I just don't think, even though we all joke that AJ loves all these older players, I really don't think he could see the Jason Hayward, Yuli Gurriel, Elias Diaz opening day lineup and be confident going into this season. And Cesaro Marco says AJ is always something cooking, most aggressive GM in the league.
I actually don't disagree with you on that, Matt. I think that that's a real possibility. I think that I agree in the sense that it seems like every time a roster's felt unfinished before the season, literally 3 days before the season starts,
there's a flurry like a year ago today.
Yeah, and then 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, was it Taylor Rogers? I can't remember which one it was. Is that 2021?
Oh, let's talk bullpen real quick. Little concerning. Jason Adam is not throwing that fast right now. He's throwing like 93. He was sitting like 95, 96. You see some of these moves. Yuki Matsui throws a lot of meatballs too. You start seeing this bullpen and you're kind of like, okay, maybe we keep Bob. I was kind of anti keeping Bob for a while. But now I'm looking at some of these bullpen and, hey, we got a lot of faith in the Rainbow. If the Rainbow doesn't have it this year and we trade Bob, we're fucked. So I'm starting to be on the team of Adam was maxing out at 98. I mean, yeah, last year he was cracked. This year he's throwing like 93. I hate to be doing some math, but in my head, usually when a pitcher goes and loses 5 miles per hour, in a pitcher with 15 different injuries during his career, maybe not good.
He's had 15 different injuries.
He's had like 5 different surgeries, bro. His battling, like how he battled to be a pitcher. Like I think they had an interview with like Sammy Lev. He's had like a ton of different injuries and shit, and he's like battled
injuries.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's throwing 93, dude. Yeah. So Gidgey says Adam is either not trying or he's hurt. I think he's not. I think he's trying.
Tell you, bro, the Rainbow.
Interesting. Okay, Ruben says so thank you, Juan. Ruben said on Gwynn and Chris that Jason Adam was working exclusively on his changeup and slider. I hope that's true. Because watching him pitch, I'm like, Jesus.
In fairness, right, Jason Adam under contract. We need him this year. Regardless, fantastic trade. Dylan Lesko can't find the zone. That was a great trade by Preller. I'm not a panic pusher, like a panic button pusher at this point.
It's also spring training.
It's spring training, but I will say next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if we have a lead and that lead gets blown by one of these relievers, I might have the most generational crash out of all time. Like that's where I start to be pissed. Like, whereas spring training, I see that notification. Jackson Trio doubles in 2 runs. It's nothing. If I see that notification on my phone, even though we'll probably be at the stadium on opening day / the rest of the weekend, that says Ozzy Albies hits a 3-run home run, I might throw my phone on the fucking field, dude. I might.
Yeah, is that an earthquake? You feel that?
Was there an earthquake?
I think there might have been an earthquake just now, dude. It felt like an earthquake.
Yeah, there was.
Really?
Yeah, my roommates just said that.
Hey, Allie, you feel that? No. Well, sweet. Hey, like this stream. Appreciate all of you. That's all we got for tonight. Root for the Tex tomorrow. You know, the roster spots and the roster competition is going to come down to the wire. It's fun to have a competition. I would love them to go younger than older. And then he wants to, one sec. Kidji wants to talk a little Brandon Lockridge. Lockridge, he's hitting 370, flying under the radar. 2021 Harrison Bader vibes.
I just don't think Lockridge has as much pop as Bader, to be honest. Like Bader could run into like a good 20 homers, to be completely honest. I don't know if Lockridge has that pop. I don't mind Lockridge though. Full transparency. I love Tyler Wade, right? I think he's like a good clubhouse guy. I would take Brandon Lockridge over Tyler Wade any day of the week. I think Brandon Lockridge is a more complete baseball player. And if you're going to have Jose Iglesias on the roster,
yeah,
you got to either have one Jose or Tyler Wade or the other, because you can't have 2 guys that do the exact same fucking thing. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, Tyler Wade's a utility infielder. Jose Iglesias is a utility infielder. Tyler Wade can't hit. Jose Iglesias can hit. It's a pretty simple formula.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're not wrong. It'll be interesting to see kind of who, because it seems like Jose Iglesias is making this squad. I really just hope Yuli doesn't. And then SDFC, great game. The Columbus Crew or whatever those guys were called, they were playing like absolute they were playing soft at the end of the game. I did not like how the Columbus Crew was playing. Sick goal, first goal scored at the snap. And yeah, man, I mean, SDFC, San Diego sports are in a good spot right now. I'm excited for, next week. And, we're going to be down there, and we appreciate all you guys for watching. I know kind of a shorter show today, but we're going to be ready to rock, talking, hopefully talking about a San Diego State win on Wednesday, and maybe we get a little bit more information on who's going to make this roster. But appreciate all you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like this if you can, if you watched and enjoyed, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.